Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and wondered who you've become? As we age, it's easy to focus on the changes we see on the outside, wrinkles, gray hairs, and signs of time. But what if we looked deeper? What if we embraced those changes instead of fearing them? Buddha's teachings remind us that change is not our enemy, but a natural part of life. He said, "Everything that has a beginning has an ending." So often we try to hold on to the past, attempting to freeze moments or preserve what is bound to shift. But what if aging weren't something to avoid or dread, but something to welcome with open arms? Today, I'll share 5 insightful Buddhist teachings on aging that will change the way you view this inevitable process. These lessons are not harsh. They are liberating, empowering, and yes, even beautiful. When you begin to accept them, you'll start to see aging not as a loss, but as an unfolding, a journey towards something deeper, something more profound. Stay with me, and let's dive into how Buddha's teachings can help us age with grace, acceptance, and even joy. 1. Accept your aging as a gift. At some point, you may catch a glimpse of yourself and notice the changes. Softer skin, graying hair, hands that seem more fragile than before. The world encourages us to resist these signs of aging, to smooth wrinkles, color hair, and hold on to youth. But what if we embraced aging as something more than loss? What if we saw it as a natural part of life's unfolding? Buddhism teaches that real beauty emerges from wisdom, presence, and compassion, not from an ageless face. Each wrinkle tells a story. Every silver hair reflects years of learning and living. There's a powerful lesson in seeing beauty not as something to maintain, but as something that evolves with time. There's a Zen tale of an older woman who sought out a wise master, burdened with sorrow. She confided in him, "Master, I no longer recognize the person I see in the mirror. My beauty has faded. My hair is gray. My skin is lined with age, and I feel as though I no longer matter." The master, listening patiently, led her outside to the garden and pointed to a cherry tree bursting with blossoms. "Is this beauty?" he inquired. She nodded, agreeing with him. Then he turned toward an ancient pine tree, its bark roughened and its branches bent by years of enduring the elements. "And this one?" he asked. The woman paused. "It's different," she said slowly, "but it has a certain nobility to it. It feels strong." The master smiled warmly. "That is because over time we come to value resilience and fortitude, not just fleeting beauty." The woman's perspective shifted. Her beauty had not vanished. It had transformed. Just as the cherry blossoms' brief glory makes way for the enduring strength of the pine, so too does the beauty of our lives evolve and deepen with the passage of time. Aging is not an adversary to fight, it's a path to be honored. Imagine if instead of grieving the passing years, we cherished each wrinkle as a chapter of our story, every gray hair as a lesson learned. In the later stages of life, there is a glow that only time can bestow, the certainty of knowing ourselves, the strength to have endured life's challenges, and the gentleness born from truly understanding others. This is the beauty that no product or treatment can replicate. So, the next time you stand before the mirror and feel the urge to mourn what's changed, take a moment to pause. Look deeper and see the life you've lived, the love you've given, and the wisdom you carry. Wear your years proudly, like a garment crafted from experience, strength, and dignity. True beauty isn't something left behind. It's something that lives within you, right here, right now. 2. Your body will fade. Learn to honor it. There was a time when physical effort felt effortless, when you could climb stairs or walk for hours without a second thought. But now, even the smallest movements seem to demand more of you. What was once reliable is now slow, reminding you that your body is changing. This shift may feel like a betrayal, yet nature's course is simply unfolding. Just like the earth cycles through its seasons, the body, too, experiences its own rhythms of transformation. The challenge lies not in the aging itself, but in our attachment to the past. When we cling to how things were, we end up in resistance, creating discomfort. True peace is found in letting go and embracing what is, rather than struggling against what was. Reflect on this. Your body is not your adversary. It is your oldest companion. It has been there through every season of your life, through childhood, youth, and adulthood. It has healed, withstood, and adapted to everything you've asked of it. Instead of resenting its slowing pace, why not show it gratitude? Aging well isn't about clinging to what you were, it's about caring for who you are now. Nurture your body with kindness, move gently, feed it well, and rest when needed. Treat it with respect, as you would an old friend. There is an old story that offers a powerful reminder. An elderly monk, once known for his strength and vitality, began to feel the weight of his years. Tasks he once completed with ease were now a struggle. One day, feeling the frustration of his frailty, he turned to his master and asked, "Why does my body seem to abandon me? It used to serve me so well, but now it refuses to follow my will." The master smiled, understanding the monk's concerns, and led him outside to a small weathered boat by the riverbank. The boat had seen better days. Its paint was chipped and the wood was cracked. Yet it still sat there, ready to carry people across the river. The master pointed to the boat and said, "This boat has carried many across the waters, but it no longer moves with the same strength. It may have its flaws, but it still serves its purpose. It may be imperfect, but it still floats, still helps people reach the other side." The monk looked at the boat and nodded in understanding. Your body, like this boat, may not be as it once was, but it still has purpose. It has carried you through life's journey, and though it may be worn, it continues to serve. Aging is not about resisting change, but about embracing the present and accepting what remains. The monk, feeling a wave of calm, realized that his body, though aging, still had value. It had served him well for decades and would continue to do so in new ways. Aging is not about mourning what's lost, but appreciating what's still here. Perhaps you can't run as quickly, but you can still walk. Maybe you can't carry as much, but you can still carry love, wisdom, and kindness. Your hands may tremble, but they can still offer comfort. Instead of viewing your aging body as a burden, treat it as a faithful companion. It has been your protector, your guide, your vessel. It deserves care and patience. Aging is not a failure. It is a natural evolution. And most importantly, never allow age to stop you from living fully. As long as you breathe, you have purpose. 3. You will be forgotten, and that is natural. One of the most difficult truths to face is the simple fact that we won't be remembered for long. The efforts we pour into our careers, the homes we build, the relationships we nurture, they all fade into the backdrop as time moves relentlessly forward. It's a sobering realization to accept, especially when we spend much of our lives trying to make a difference. But the world doesn't stop for us. Our names eventually slip away. At first, this can be disheartening, but Buddhist philosophy offers a different perspective. The concept of anatta, or no self, reminds us that the idea of a permanent identity is an illusion. Like waves in the ocean, we rise and fall, leaving ripples that merge into the vastness of life. In a remote temple, a young monk approached his master with a heavy heart. "Master," he asked, "does it not trouble you that when you pass away, people will forget your name?" The master looked at him calmly and replied, "When you look at the moon, do you wonder where it goes when the clouds cover it? It doesn't matter whether we see the moon or not. The moon still shines, whether or not we notice. Life is the same. We may not be remembered, but our actions, the love we share, and the kindness we offer continue to shine quietly in the hearts of others." The master added, "Do not focus on being remembered. Focus on living with purpose in each moment. That is where true meaning lies." Think of the people who have shaped your life. You may not remember all their names, but the lessons they taught you, the care they gave you, and the moments they shared with you remain. It's the impact of those moments that matter, not whether or not they are remembered. So instead of focusing on the idea of being remembered, live with presence. Focus on being kind, being present in the lives of others, and offering whatever wisdom or love you can in the moment. This is how we create a true legacy, not in the fleeting recognition of our name, but in the enduring ripples of goodness that flow from our actions. As we grow older, it's not about trying to carve our name into the pages of history. It's about living each day with purpose, knowing that we are part of something much bigger, an eternal flow that will continue long after we are gone. And when the time comes to leave, we can do so with peace, knowing that the ripples we've created have nourished others, like water in a river that never truly ends. 4. You will lose loved ones, but love transcends death. As time moves forward, loss becomes an inescapable companion. We witness the passing of parents, siblings, friends, and perhaps even children, one by one. No matter how much we brace ourselves for it, the ache of farewell is never something we can fully prepare for. Grief does not simply fade away with time. It becomes a part of us, something we learn to navigate. But there is a profound truth offered by Buddhism. The love we give and receive does not vanish. Those we have lost live on within us, in the lessons they imparted, the memories they created, and the love they shared. Each time we speak of them, share their wisdom, or carry forward the kindness they once showed, their presence remains. In the Buddhist tradition, there is the story of a woman whose grief was so overwhelming after the death of her young son that she sought the Buddha's help. The Buddha asked her to bring a mustard seed from a household that had never known death. Hopeful, she visited every home in the village, only to discover that every family had experienced loss, be it a child, a parent, a friend. By the end of her journey, she understood that suffering is universal, shared by all. The Buddha's lesson was clear. While loss is inevitable, the love we share endures, woven into the fabric of our lives. Consider those you have lost, maybe a parent whose voice still lingers in your heart, a friend whose advice continues to guide you, or a partner whose love still shapes how you connect with others. Though they may no longer walk this earth, they are never truly absent. One common misconception about grief is that we must eventually move on. But Buddhism invites us to move forward instead. We carry the love, the memories, and the essence of those who have passed with us as we continue our journey. Have you ever had a moment when a particular song, smell, or word seemed to bring someone back to life? If only for a brief moment. That is the presence of those we've lost, still alive in our senses and in our hearts. It's a reminder that love is not confined to the physical realm, and it transcends time and space. Grief, though painful, is a testament to the depth of the love we shared. The more profound the love, the greater the grief. Rather than wishing the pain away, we can transform it into gratitude. Instead of focusing solely on what has been lost, we can treasure what we were fortunate enough to have. Aging inevitably brings more loss, but it also offers the privilege of forming deep, meaningful connections. It gives us the chance to carry forward the spirits of those who have shaped our lives, keeping their love and their essence alive within us. So, when loss feels heavy in your heart, remember this: love never fades. It flows through you, in your actions, your kindness, your every gesture. As long as you continue to love, those who have passed remain a part of you. 5. Some people are meant to come and go, and that's the way of life. As time passes, you'll come to recognize a simple yet poignant truth. Everything, including the people who cross our paths, is in constant flux. Friends who once felt like extensions of ourselves may drift away. Family members who used to be a regular presence in our lives may become occasional visitors or perhaps even distant memories. It's easy to wonder what went wrong, to feel as though something essential was lacking. But if we look deeper, we see that change is the very nature of existence. Relationships, like everything else, have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Buddhism reminds us that nothing lasts forever. The people who come into our lives do so for a reason, fulfilling their part in our journey, and when their role is complete, they move on. The ebb and flow of relationships can be compared to the natural rhythms of life, like the cycles of the moon or the changing of the seasons. It's not that people don't care, but that they too are part of a larger story that continues to unfold, and their presence, like ours, is temporary. There's a lesson from a Buddhist tale that sheds light on this. A young monk once asked his teacher, "Why do people leave us, especially when we love them?" The teacher led him to a quiet garden where a tree stood. "Look at this tree," the teacher said. "Some leaves grow on it for only a season, while others remain for much longer. But each leaf, whether it falls early or stays until autumn, has its role to play. They give shade, they add to the beauty of the tree, and then they fall when their time is done." People are like the leaves, the teacher continued. Some walk with us for a brief time, others for much longer, but all must eventually fall away. The lesson is not in their departure, but in accepting that they were never meant to stay forever. In that moment, the young monk understood that love isn't about ownership or control. It's about appreciating the beauty and the lessons that each person brings into our life, no matter how fleeting their stay. The love they gave doesn't vanish when they leave. It simply evolves into something that lives in us. As we age, we come to accept that relationships shift. Some fade away gradually like the last light of evening, while others end with suddenness like the abrupt passage of a storm. But each connection in its time carries meaning. And even when someone is no longer in our lives, their legacy of love, laughter and wisdom doesn't disappear. It endures. Rather than mourning the loss of every connection, we can shift our focus to the relationships that remain and to those that continue to grow. There's always room for new connections, no matter where you are in life. That is the true path of wisdom. Honoring what was, celebrating what is, and welcoming what is yet to be. As we reach the end of this journey, let us take a moment to reflect on the wisdom we've shared today. Aging is not something to fear, but something to accept. Each year, each change in our body tells the story of who we are and what we've been through. Society often tells us to fight aging to hide it, but in truth, growing older is a gift. It brings with it valuable lessons, greater patience, and a clearer understanding of what truly matters. The more we resist getting older, the more we miss out on the beauty of the present. When we accept the passage of time, we find peace and contentment. Aging is not about losing anything. It's about gaining wisdom and seeing life more clearly. So what will you do? Will you fight the passage of time, or will you embrace it with gratitude? The choice is yours, and by accepting it, you'll find that aging is not an end, but a beautiful new chapter.